2020, they announced layoffs, and me and about a dozen other people got the X. But before I left the real news, we had started this show called Burn It Down with Kim Brown, where we set oppression ablaze. We talk about a lot of similar issues to what y'all talk about here on Clickbaity, but we Venn diagram, we dib and we dab and talk about different things. I was a radio personality for lots of years. I worked in Tulsa, Oklahoma, St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. Worked doing Black radio for a very long time. And then I actually worked for Russian media, though I am not a bot. I worked for Russian media for about 2 years, actually, in D.C. And I can say this as someone who has worked for Russian media. To their credit, like, the Russians never told me what I could and could not talk about, though it was implied that perhaps you should not bash Vladimir Putin. But, I live in America. I got 1,000 politicians I can bash. I don't have to bash Putin. So let me just put that out there, even though no one's ever called me a Russian bot, but let me just make that clarification. So I've just been in broadcasting for a long time. I've been doing politics for about almost 10 years now. I've covered CPACs. I've covered the Republican National Convention, the one they had in 2012 in Tampa. I've been exposed to these conservatives. I was trying to observe them in the wild because I thought that you could kind of reason with conservatives until I was wrong. And I'm like, no, there's no reasoning with these people. So, I sort of find myself politically marooned right now. I don't consider myself to be a Democrat. I officially was independent as of 2014. So, Democrats are not my friends. They are not my allies. Neither are Republicans. And I'm just trying to build with a bunch of like-minded, independent, political-minded people who want, first and foremostly, Black liberation. Yeah. And for us to get from under this very oppressive system that is capitalism. As we see, this system has killed hundreds of thousands of us and is actively trying to tell us that despite an accelerating pandemic, shit's fine. Just open the schools. Y'all going back to work. Don't worry about this pesky pandemic. So we find ourselves in very interesting times, gentlemen. It's dangerous times.
So once again, first I'm gonna play this off like it didn't happen. Y'all just jumped in on the middle of Kim talking because I didn't go live. So I didn't go live until the midway before midway into Kim's first sentence. So this is
nigga go nigga, because a nigga
right.
Go nigga.
Yes, it's nigga go nigga go nigga. So check this out. You are watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. For the second introduction, I am Marcus Farrell, one of your three hosts, and I'm with Ben Dixon. We got to repeat this again because we just shot up on your screen. We went through the whole intro and all the cool music and all that. And I didn't press the button. And Dwayne, the producer, is watching right now backstage, and he's probably like, "Yep, see, that's why you need me." So, so you are watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Mondo will be on his way. I'm with Ben Dixon as always, and we are with Kim Brown, host of Burn It Down with Kim Brown, and she just went through who she was, gave y'all a little bio about what she was, and I want. I mean, not to be heavy hitting because I know that you're the person that's used to asking the questions, right? And you always ask the questions. But I need the Clickbaity audience. I need the Trap Squad to know exactly who the hell they dealing with here, right? Because Kim was with the Real News Network. Kim now has her own station. It ain't really none of our business what the hell went down, and I'm not going to even try to even go into that. I'll let her do it if she wants to, but it's neither here nor there. But what I will say is that this Black woman represents freedom-loving Black people more than anybody else. Definitely top 5 in the game in America right now when it comes down to like purely representing the interests of African Americans in this country, and does it on her own accord, does it on her own in her own space. And you old school folks who watched us since the beginning know for a fact that Kim was a host of the Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap for a couple of times, so I'm still waiting for her to cuss me out for not having on since then. So I guess I want to ask you how, like, the transition and then going into your own like space, and like this is your own business now. You dig what I'm saying? And how has that treated you? And then also, have you been able to like as you catch your footing, as you grow into your own space, is it do you find yourself being a little bit more quote unquote free?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, so when you're working for somebody else, you kind of have to toe their line, right? In one form of fashion, even if you are given a lot of latitude to sort of do your thing, I mean, you still know, that there's certain places that it would be frowned upon if you went in that direction. So, getting fired from, well, not fired later. I'm afraid this time I didn't get fired. I have been fired several times before, but this was not one of those times. And we just got laid off. And moving on to our channel, our own channel, Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Please subscribe on YouTube if y'all get the opportunity. It's really been interesting. People are responding to what we're doing, but I'm sort of like green to the YouTube game, so I don't really know, like, are we doing good? Are we not doing good? But it feels like we're doing good. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to run with that. And so part of the people that were included in the layoff from the Real News, 3 of them have wanted to come on and work on my show, which has been like, that was a very humbling experience, because what I have learned in my almost 20-year broadcasting career is that, when you try to do shit on your own, you can to a point, but really you do need a team. And like, if you are trying, like that solo hustle is fucking hard.
Right.
And, let me shout out my crew real quick. Tunde Ogunfolaju, Janvier Montanar, and Molly Shaw. Like, if it wasn't for them, like, helping me and us working and collaborating, we wouldn't be able to do a twice a week live program. So having like people helping you is very important. So let me put that message out there, because I know there's a lot of people out there solo grinding, and you think that you can do it all, and you're going to, work 14 to 16 hours a day to get your dream off the ground, which is totally a thing. That's wonderful. But yeah, you need some help, man. Like, you need some labor assistance. So that's been a very important lesson that I'm just very grateful that these people want to work with me. And that really makes me feel good. And thank you for asking me questions, Marcus. I'm really not used to being asked questions about myself. Like, that's right. But thank you for asking.
I know that, nigga. That's what I'm doing.
So about me, I'm also a big stoner. I love to smoke weed. Of all things,
yes,
right? All the weed. So
you're in good company here. Or am I in good company? Either way.
Well, I mean, I hope y'all are in good company, because that means I'm in good company.
Yeah, exactly. We all good.
So just first for Trap Squad, listen, this Kim is an OG Trap Squad queen, right? So let's not so let's not even trip out. And if you guys are watching, if you're one of the 265 people watching this through all streams right now, do me a solid and go find her channel right now. Like and subscribe her channel and watch her show. We spread love. Ben spread love to us. We spread love. Like we pass this along, right? And I mean, to be honest with you, man, like, Kim will cuss you out on air, right?
That's the only language niggas understand. You understand? Nice to people all you want, like, and listen, Black women I know can relate to this, because the whole angry Black woman trope is such bullshit, but it's not bullshit at the same time. So a Black woman, more oftentimes than not, will try to calmly and rationally explain to you her perspective, where she's coming from, why she disagrees with you. When we get talked over, when we get ignored, when we get talked down to, then that's when niggas get cussed out, because that's the only language niggas understand. And by niggas, I mean everybody. I don't mean Black people. There are white niggas out here. There are niggas out here. Niggas go is niggas, period. So sometimes you got to cuss niggas out for them to actually hear you, which we don't like to do, because it elevates our blood pressure and gets us all stressed out. And then people be like, damn, I came out here cussing people out. Nigga, because you niggas didn't hear me the first 5 times I said the shit nice. That's the problem.
Ben, you on mute, man. Yeah. I know you got something to say about this one right here.
No. I actually lost all my audio for like the first half of what she said, but when I came back in, I understood everything. When I heard her, the last 3 sentences was enough. Kim, I've been following your work for a minute. You've been low key, high key grinding in these streets for a long time. Like you are legit. Like
grind is the right word, Ben Dixon, because I will ghost on the world, nigga, and you niggas won't hear from me for like a year or two. But thank you.
I mean, notwithstanding that, because I was like, where did, and then all of a sudden you had a new, you did you lose your old Twitter account?
No, I deleted it because I got tired of Twitter. Like I found Twitter to be very exhausting.
Yeah.
In the sense that, you know, people, if they disagree is one thing, but I'm kind of experiencing this now as I'm tweeting more. Like people are like questioning, like, "Oh, you're so dumb." It's like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Like, I'm not here to justify to you how smart or not smart I am. I don't know you. Fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But I mean, on social media, people think they can talk to you any old kind of way. So I had to delete my old Twitter account. And when I rejoined Twitter in 19, I preemptively like blocked all the people I found to be annoying. So like, there's a lot of like prominent black Twitter that I just don't see at all because I find them to be like very annoying and like self-gratifying. And it's like, you know what? Let me curate my Twitter experience and not even see the annoying niggas that I really don't like that much.
I think people think we owe them our space. No, we're delivering a product. You can leave your comments, and you know, but that doesn't mean you know that you have the right to violate that space that they're trying to get access to when they come at you like that, right? And I'm curious, like, how, because I've been off of Twitter. I just got back on Twitter today, but I had been off for like 3 weeks.
Hold on, let's explain why he was off of Twitter and why he got back on. No. I'm gonna do this in third person. I'm gonna do this in third person. So I don't know if you saw the graphic that Clickbaity Political Thirsttrap put up about with our cartoon characters, right? And if I could if I could find it, I'll find it here shortly. But we had Marvel characters that we put up, right? Yeah. And mine was as someone had said on our show last night, mine was the Black Pantherine, because my choice was I'm like the Black Panther, but I'm like Wolverine. I'll hurt you. Oh. Yeah, I'll hurt myself to mess you up, right? And Rebecca was Catwoman. And DJ Exclusive was Black Captain America. Mondale was Power Man, and Ben was the Hulk. So Ben goes from this calm, peaceful preacher guy, and internally he's this raging psycho that is just ready to like Hulk out. Literally, the best word for it was Hulk out. And so when he said it himself, I was like, oh, dope, right? But here's the thing: Twitter gets to him, and he it's like there ain't no Black Widow to calm him down. So he be by himself over there, wigging out and shit like that. And then he's like Trump, but blackness, right? He just starts saying whatever the fuck comes to his mind real quick. So here's the thing, you know, there was a little situation. Ben got in a little trouble for some words, words that he said, right? But then he also was pissed off. More importantly, he got off Twitter because he was pissed off because these white supremacists, these white progressives were acting like problematic white people, and he basically just shot out a warning, like, yeah, these guys are wrong. Well, Jimmy Dore ended up being exactly who Ben Dixon said he was. Yeah. And now he feels like he needs to come back to Twitter and like take his victory lap.
I'm not going to take any victory laps. I'm not. Like, I honestly try to get off of Twitter because I do Hulk. I spaz. I mean, I'm sorry that somebody corrected me on that being ableist language, but I do snapping. But I think Kim, I think you can identify with it because you said it. Like sometimes folks just don't get it until you snap.
Right.
And it's not that I have actively worked on my temper for 12 years, for 20 years. Hell, shit, since I was 12 years old. So however long that is, like, but some of these clowns in these political spaces, man, they don't understand. They don't understand peaceable language. Sometimes you got to come at them the way they come at you.
I want to ask you guys about that because I'm going to tell you. Prior to this kerfuffle with Jimmy Dore, I had never even heard of Jimmy Dore. And I was talking to a sister today, and she was sort of filling me in on it. She's like, "Oh, he's really popular." I'm like, "But popular with who though? Like, I've never heard this man." And I want us, like, as people who see ourselves way on the left, right? Y'all, I mean, we have to stop entertaining like certain white people's opinions. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I have a quota. Like, there's like maybe 5 to 8 white men whose opinions that I actually will take into consideration. And that's my quota. Like, quota's filled. So Jimmy Dore, like, that nigga didn't make the cut. Who the fuck is this nigga? You know what I mean? Like, and now y'all telling me that he's halfway, you know, trying to partner up with the Proud Boys or the Boogaloo Boys or some crazy shit. And it's like, well, that's why we have a quota system, y'all, because, you know, we can listen to, you know, Dave Zirin and Chuck Modiano and, you know, a handful, but we got to cut them off at some point. Like, how much do we value the opinions of like white progressives? You feel me? Like I feel like there should be like a list, and after that list, like, no, the list is full. Like we can't no more white progressive opinions are needed.
Seats taken. I feel like they come here to give us their opinion. No, I'm sorry, this seat's taken.
Yeah, so shout out.
Right? He's like rich and shit. Like didn't I see something about this nigga bought a mansion?
$2 million.
Yeah. Before we go too far, I want to acknowledge and recognize the presence of the God, the power man himself, Mondale Robinson. Mondale is in the building. What's good, man?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good,
Swag
man.
at 100,000 trillion.
Yeah.
What's up with you, sis?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired. I see y'all still giving Jimmy Dore bitch ass energy.
Thank you. Mondale coming through with the.
I hate that motherfucker, man. He because he's white, he got fans. What they really saying is they like whiteness. Motherfucker, he is an oppressor, and I think everybody would do better, even white people, if they took you up on your offer of having a white man cap.
Cap, for real, like seriously, and it'd be better for like everybody's mental space as well. You know what I mean? Like, no. We only listen to them.
They get 37 minutes a week to talk. Other than that, shut the fuck up and learn something.
Correct.
Well, and I mean, so on that point and on that notion, we know this force to vote thing has happened, kind of come and gone and stuff like that, and we also kind of covered it to the extent that we possibly can. So we're not really going to go there. Where I will go is, so I'm going to unabashedly be about people who are about us, right? And especially in this progressive space. So shout out to the Majority Report. Shout out to Nomiki. Very special shout out to Tim Black. For without even coordinating with us.
Oh, literally. Nigga, stop your shout outs and let's get this goddamn fight on from this morning.
Yeah.
No.
You want to cut me off again? How about this
Go
right
ahead.
Here? Let me you want about everything. Let's cap for Biden real quick. All right, let's go for cap for Biden. Cap for Biden. That's a great segue. Because I'm gonna go ahead and bring up this cap for Biden. So Kim, you might not have watched this morning show.
You should have.
But me and Mondale went through our clickbaity moment on them proper people channel earlier
on the bourgeoisie network
on the new hotness in the morning time. I will give it props. The morning trap, very 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 good. I don't have the applause, right? But on the morning trap this morning, me and Mondale had a slight little disagreement about and I don't even think it was a disagreement as I watched the show again. what I realized, and especially after seeing the day go by. So let me address you first. Okay. Let me address you first, Mondale.
I love you too, Marcus.
Yeah. You know I love you, bro. Like we gonna argue and literally try to fight each other, like, and then like go out and get pizza like two little kids.
What was y'all fighting about? Can I know? Can y'all fill me in?
Yeah. So earlier today, Mondale basically throughout the election campaign and throughout the Georgia runoffs, Mondale basically has been saying that, listen, Biden is going to pass certain things for our community and just watch out for it, right? Okay. And me, the constant pessimist, was like, fuck all that, right? hey, hold on. By the way, I shout out to Mondale stealing my energy and coming on the show late so he can steal my energy and do the same exact thing that I did on the show this morning.
or actually, let's say it correctly. Shout out to Marcus' ass for being impatient and not wanting to wait for me 15 minutes like we normally do. He wanted to be on time tonight.
Don't cap, Mondale. So before the show started, I said, Mondale, you want us to wait for you? We can wait. You said, bro.
No, you said I'm gonna go ahead and go live. You can just come in. Is that okay?
That's like, a lie. You lying to the
Scout's honor. Scout's fucking honor. And I ain't even a scout.
The fucking devil scout. Back to what I was saying.
Go ahead.
So basically, Mondale was pointing out today was Black Tuesday, and I let him get into it once he gets the opportunity to talk about how, there was things that Biden said he was going to do that he actually passed and he signed today, right? My thing was he ain't did shit until I see some shit, right? Like I don't believe that shit. He capping, and until I see, basically until I see a change, and I got a little animated, you know what I mean? So and Mondale was like, your argument is bullshit. He kept he kept cutting me off. By the way, we had a conversation about you cutting me off, Negro.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
But so it got a little tense earlier, but we gave Ben Show some ratings, and we better get our super chats for that shit. So what I'm saying,
I didn't see no super chats go up for the fight, but I'll go replay it and we'll track it down. Y'all can have all of it.
So Mondale, what I want to say, and I'll then give it to the floor because I do want to read an article that pertains to this right here, is that as the day goes by, I'll say this right here: he's the best neoliberal we've had so far.
That's gay.
Okay.
I mean, like y'all can take that for however y'all want to dissect that comment, right? Like he did something that Bill Clinton wouldn't do.
What's that?
Barack Obama.
What?
Everything today.
And I'll let Mondale address all this right here. I'm backing up.
Fill me in because Biden. Let me tell you something, bitch. The North fucking remembers, God damn it. Like Joe Biden's shitty ass record for the 30 plus years he was in the Senate. I ain't forgot.
Oh boy.
What the fuck Joe Biden did today? That nigga better have cut my stimulus check and be walking that bitch to my house. What'd he do today, Mondale?
So first of all,
Joe Biden, some popcorn around this.
Joe Biden, as president, Joe Biden has been the most progressive president we've ever seen in this country. That's not saying a lot. It's just factual. Today, Joe Biden put an end to federal prisons, private prisons. Joe Biden. I mean, you can't name one president more progressive than Joe Biden ever. In the history of niggas.
There's never been a progressive president. Like presidents are not meant to be progressive. They're meant to keep the system.
That's absolutely that way of thinking is the reason we don't have more black progressives elected throughout the South. This country, every office is meant to be progressive. If we're not moving, we made the Constitution a living document so it can be a progressive country, so it can change and not be stiff. The absolute reason we have amendments and a process to amend the Constitution is to bring in more people, and to bring in more people is to change the status quo and by default make us a more progressive nation. So what Biden did.
I believe in America, Mondale. I appreciate.
I believe in the Constitution. I'm
not in the Constitution. Black women are not in the Constitution, and Black people are in the Constitution as 3/5. And our freedom was conditional upon us being relegated again to indentured lifetime servitude imprisonment if we were ever get in prison. But I'm listening. Go ahead.
You ain't charged that camera, did you?
I don't even want to talk about what happened, Marcus.
You ain't charged that camera, did you? I know your black ass didn't charge. I know, we keeping your ass on the damn. We keeping you on.
Yeah, keep me on.
We gonna change up the format, but go ahead. We don't
have to change. We don't have to change the format.
Biden is the most progressive president. This nigga been in office a week, and FDR full ass walked the planet and was.
FDR ain't do shit for black people except for codify. He became the first and only president to literally codify racism through redlining. Fuck FDR, and the New Deal was no good for black people. I am a veteran. I'm a veteran, and that shit fucked us up. His highway systems fucked up our communities. Fuck FDR. HUD
with the highways, but that's okay. Keep going.
All of that shit's fucked up. So absolutely not. Ending private federal prisons. The amount of people that will have a pathway to citizenship. Correcting what happened as it pertains to immigrants, black immigrants especially, has never been done. Barack Obama didn't even do that shit. So I'm telling what happened today with the federal prisons and a couple other things. I don't know what the fuck is going on in my head right now. Somebody said smile Monday with your black ass. So anyway, I'm saying to discount what happened today is everything I said. Federal prisons were going to be ending. What else happened today that we talked about this morning? I'm losing my mind for. Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, not even immigration. Hold on. HUD, the shit that happened with HUD and protections for black and brown people with HUD, and how they're gonna change public housing, and also police fucking reform. Police reform. And also the fucking the reaffirmation that consent decrees will be a part of our fucking policing culture again. And that is so important. All of that happened today. All that happened today.
Well,
and also Biden is the first president ever to mention white supremacy in a negative connotation.
Come on, man.
He equated it to domestic terrorism. And
he called it domestic terrorism. That's never happened before in this country.
Not. The motherfuckers stormed the Capitol. Like, I mean, at some point you have to call a thing a thing. Like, I don't give him credit for telling me that the sky.
They were shooting at Barack Obama at the White House and jumping fences trying to kill him, and he didn't say it.
Exactly. He was a sucker too. Y'all know how I feel about Obama. Don't even get me started on Obama.
All right. Well. I do want to read the article, and I'm going to share this with everybody. So if we could let me just share my screen real quick. It's gonna get ratchet here for a second, but we'll be all right. Because that's clickbaity. Let me share screen. Share screen. Hey, share screen. Share screen. Okay. Oh, now he don't want. Am I sharing the screen?
No.
This damn camera of mine.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, we'll get back at it. Sorry about that. Well, let's just continue. Because my screen.
I'm gonna put this old dirty ass cheap camera on. Why not? This Mac camera.
It was working.
Somebody told my black ass to smile. They can see it now. Go ahead, Marcus. Can you explain the article?
Yeah, I can, but like now all of a sudden my whole StreamYard page is not working. Mondale, I mean, Ben, so we're gonna have to keep it rock and rolling with this right here, because either I'm gonna have to cut the stream, and that would be bad. Trying to share now is not gonna work on my screen because
share.
Oh, it's what is this? It's this old raggedy ass Microsoft internet browser.
Charge.
So fuck with Apple.
Wait a minute. You're not an Internet Explorer, are you?
Oh my.
Oh no, I'm not.
Oh boy, I'm about to say. Oh no, you're on that Microsoft Edge. Okay, I know what that is.
Yeah, I'm on Edge, and Edge is acting up. So cancel. Anyway, well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right here. This is to not to end the conversation, but do we even have enough time to even judge what this guy can and can't do?
First of all, he has a record. Like, I need y'all to understand this. Like, Joe Biden has been in public service for 50 fucking years. Like, I mean, he's been in the White House for a week but he was vice president for 8 years. He was also a senator for 30 plus years. Joe Biden is the architect of so much legislation that was targeted and fucked up Generation X, y'all, targeted towards us. Not just the crime bill, but that bullshit bankruptcy reform that he worked on with GOP senators during the Bush administration, Bush, to make it difficult for people with student loan debt to file for bankruptcy. You could not consolidate your student loans into your bankruptcy filing. Thank you, Joe Biden. We really fucking appreciate that. So now I'm hoping Joe Biden adheres to his good campaign promises, because his good campaign promise is to what? Eradicate some of student loan debt. I think the number keeps fluctuating, 10K, 50K. I'm not sure what it is. He needs to eradicate it all. But, you know, Joe Biden at the same time has promised to try to reopen schools within his first 100 days. And this is a big fucking issue I have with Joe Biden, because again, Joe Biden is now the figurehead of the capitalist regime of the United States. So as you're hearing, Democrat governors, Republican governors, everybody's trying to get the kids back to school, basically to get people back to work. Well, the problem is COVID said, fuck you niggas.
actually, science didn't say that, sis. So I mean, and we can blame Joe Biden for everything, but we are lovers of science, and we got to be honest. CDC put out a report, said schools are safer than the general communities. That's a fact.
No, it's not. Like how does that? Here's the thing. Like, first of all,
CDC said it. I mean, we can't argue with science unless we become Trump. Unless we become Donald Trump. Come on, guys.
There's too many teachers dying. There's too
there's too many people in general dying. But I'm telling you, that schools are safer than the general public, bro.
What are they defining as general public there? Like
outside of schools, anywhere outside of schools.
Listen, if shit is so much
every school's, and this is almost 100%, bro. Every school's COVID rate is lower than the community it's surrounding it.
Oh, because there's only 75 kids in the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you open school and have 400, 500 kids in school at the same time.
All of this makes sense, sis, except for you're discounting what we saw in other parts of the world. They had lower testing rates for schools in other parts of the world. Damn near everywhere. It's just a fact.
You know that they have shut down schools again. Like, Europe is in lockdown again. Schools in Germany are closed. Schools in France are closed. Schools in Japan are closed. Like, they are not, like, the shit is not over. And first of all, the CDC still has a lot of reputation reestablishment to do, because again, I'm not 100% trusting the CDC CDC.
I ain't no conspiracy theorist. I ain't a conspiracy theorist, sis.
Not a conspiracy. Listen, if it's not safe to be indoors with several people, we're talking about children here. You think kids are going to social distance after they haven't seen each other in months? Kids are going to be all up in each other's faces. And the CDC's information is contradicting itself. If shit is safe for kids to be in school, then why are they now telling people that you got to wear 2 masks? They're telling people to wear 2 masks, but I'm supposed to believe it's safer.
I'm telling people to wear 2 masks.
I'm right now. I feel like y'all are being. I'm never gonna argue with science. I don't care. So like, the 2 mask situation sounds good. I'm just telling you what CDC said. And if we applauded the fact that we said we were gonna let science drive our COVID response, what you're saying now is something contradictory to science. Secondly, you also said something that the world says, and we very rarely push back on this. The crime bill had less to do with the increase in the prison population than the first crime bill, the one that Joe Biden authored. And we never talk about this in true context. So everybody's running around here saying that same talking point, and nobody's really vetted that talking point. But the truth of the matter, if we vet that talking point, the increase in prison population started because of what was going on in the 80s and what was passed in the 80s. And these are facts, and nobody wants to talk about this. These are just facts. I think for so long we've been so comfortable saying one thing and not really vetting it. Those are
what wasn't Joe Biden in the Senate in the 80s?
Just really important when you get a chance, Mundell.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say, like, because I've just known too many teachers, like,
That's anecdotal though.
No, anecdotal, and that's all I need for me. Like if the
All right.
CDC, I'm just saying for me, I trust the CDC only so much when they like make these recommendations. I'm sorry. Yeah, they can risk their kids. I'm not risking my kids, and I'm not risking because I mean, as soon as I saw that report from the CDC, I'm like, cool. I get it. That's what the science says, but I'm still homeschooling my kids. And I hope that as many people can as possible, because I'm going to be honest with you, even if the odds are lessened, like somebody going to catch it. Somebody going to die from them kids being at school exchanging snot like they do on a good day. And we're in a pandemic. So just for me and my house, that's all I'm saying. I can't risk it.
Yeah. So I hear you. I'm just, I don't have kids. I would never pretend to tell anybody what to do with their kids or anything. I'm just talking about what the science said. So, and that was my entire argument is about science and facts, historical facts, which brings me to my last point. Joe Biden as a senator, is a creature in itself that needs to be constructed and deconstructed and reconstructed and deconstructed again. Absolutely. I'm talking about what the legislation, the changes that have been put in place right now, even the obscure changes that nobody has said anything about, to what we could do with the Office of Regulatory, and how this been so easier. It's going to be so easy for progressive shit to pass because of those changes that got made that nobody spoke about. I mean, we can make these faces. I'm just talking about how our government works.
That's cool.
How our government works and what that does. And then the last thing, sis, and everybody else, Joe Biden was not a part of the Keating Five. Everybody keeps saying that because he was extremely close to John McCain. Joe Biden was not a part of the Keating Five. Those 5 senators responsible for the crashing of saving loans and ending saving loan. Yeah, the Keating Five, but Biden wasn't. It was for Democrats, but Biden wasn't one of them. Him and John McCain was extremely close. It was them, and that doesn't let Joe Biden off the hook for all the fucked up shit he did do. Absolutely. But I also know I heard us just scathe him for 32 years when we never talk about the rebuke of America. His rebuke of America supporting white South Africa during apartheid against the lives of black people. That soliloquy, that 30-minute scolding that he gave all those white people, talking about the white South Africaners and what our role was and what our responsibility was. No one talks about that. But I mean, if we're gonna do a real view of a person, then let's talk about the entirety of what that person is and how they show up politically. Because you have to consider that video as well, where he's cussing out other senators about South Africa and supporting white South Africans.
Now I'm just going to add on one thing to that theory real quick. There's a woman named Oprah who I love to death, and she has an awesome book club, but who also likes to deal with Africans before they deal with African Americans.
Facts.
So I mean, it's hyper easy to go and I'm a rock and roll with black folks who I think are poor and who are subjected, and I'm going to roll them out, but I can't deal with this outside of my own city. Or in Biden's case, I can't deal with the south side of my country. I mean, there's something to be said about like trying to roll up and push a process against your own people. Let me back up. He has a lot more work to do. That is that simple, right? And I think I want to give a fair analysis by saying we are allowed a fair critique. We are allowed to like Joe Biden. I said it earlier on today's show, a little bit too much passion, but we are allowed to light Joe Biden ass up until some shit change. We are fundamentally allowed to light his ass up, and we can hourly. And we are fundamentally allowed to ignore him when he attempts things until things fundamentally change in our communities, because he's one of the authors of something that fundamentally did hurt, like have a tangible action towards our community, right? So I mean, the first 100 days, we're 7 days into the first 100 days right now. And it is what it is when it comes down to what Joe Biden kind of brings to the table. But I think we'd be a little bit foolish and remiss to think that it's over. But I also want to look at things with an optimistic skepticism, right? Because I'm tired of being gloom and doom, and I'm like the most like I'm a person who really, really, really doesn't rock with Biden like that because of the crime bill. And that's and it's something that modern politics has minimized so much. So you have to understand something. There's a lot of establishment people who had to minimize the effects of the crime bill just to get Joe Biden acceptance in black communities.
I've never been the espouser of popular ideas. I only tell the truth. I'm just saying that. That's all I'm saying. All I said was I said some shit on the campaign trail. I said some shit was going to happen within the first week of him being elected. That shit happened. So that's what I was teasing Marcus about this morning when it went too far. I also like I because I am a historian, I like actual facts, and I'm extremely critical of Joe Biden very often. We have been on this show since this presidential cycle began, since we started this show. So I hear that. I'm also a lover of facts and history. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Joe Biden signed a bunch of promising executive orders. I have not had a chance to review them. I had some shit to do earlier today. But here's my thing, right? Like, we are in the midst of a global pandemic. Like, America far exceeds the globe in the most infections and people who have died from COVID. We are also in the midst of one of the greatest economic crises this country has ever seen. When is Joe Biden going to run me my $2,000 check? These are my questions. That's my first question. And second question is, point, not so much a question, but the fact that he's bent on this reopening schools thing is really, really bothering my spirit, because it just seems as though our political class is determined to get them slaves back in the field. We need y'all to get working, so we're going to get these kids back in school so we can watch your kids so y'all can go back to work and get the economy back on track. But not understanding that, first of all, you don't have an economy if you don't have healthy people. And we don't have a vaccine that is accessible and available to everybody. The vaccine rollout has been a disaster. And of course, that is on the onus of the Trump administration. You know, I understand that Joe Biden has got to do a lot of cleaning up from not only Trump's incompetence, but his deliberate, intentional harming of communities he didn't fuck with, right? So I understand Joe Biden's got, just like Obama had a shit pile to clean up after Dusty left office. I get it. But again, the difference between Joe Biden and Obama is that Joe Biden's track record is very long, very documented. Joe Biden was against busing, school integration by and large, and talked about it and gave his reasons why he was against it. I would hope by 78, he has evolved on some of these things, but I mean, I don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not forget. And until Joe Biden has a demonstrable record as president of advocating and signing into law shit that actually directly benefits Black people, our condition, our health condition, our educational condition, our financial economic condition, that nigga is on notice until I see progress. Right now, he's in the deficit. Like, he's way in the red. He ain't nowhere near the Black when it comes to how I see Joe Biden and whether or not he's going to be a beneficial person in the White House to help Black folks and indigenous.
Well, what you just did was you just based his presidential life off of what happens in Congress, because if you say you're only going to be okay once he signed into law things that are beneficial to Black people, that means it's based on what happens in the Senate and the House. That's nothing the president. That's nothing a presidential candidate or president can control. Secondly, let me say something, not to you, sis, but to rapid fuck off. I don't cut people off because they are women. I don't cut people off. I cut people. That's the nature of this show, bro. And everybody that's ever talked and watched this show know that we talk. So that shit,
I'm gonna add on to that real quick. What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna like sexualize conversations that people are having with trying to create false narratives about sexual dynamics. Kim is on this show, and Mondale know for a goddamn fact that he can say whatever he wants to Kim, and Kim gonna say it right back. That's that bullshit. If y'all don't understand Black dialect, get the fuck off our channel. Keep going.
And Kim was a part of this show for damn near a month straight. And this ain't our first fucking conversation when we disagree. So fuck out of here. She has a point of view. I have a point of view.
I thought we had beef. I thought it was. I thought Mondale wanted to square up. I said, "Oh, Mondale, what's up, Mike?"
I'm always on fire. I'm always ready to go.
Trying to see the comment. Where the comment at?
Hey, can I start a Run Me My Money pack?
Yeah, please.
Run me my money.
Run me my y'all. I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all understand in Australia, like citizens got $2,000 a month for 12 months, $24,000 by and large for most citizens to stay the fuck home. And
Australia also doesn't have $720 a year for a $720 billion a year for a military budget. So.
True. I mean, imagine if we didn't spend so much money trying to bomb places that we have no business in, we might could actually afford some shit. But, that's not the goal of America. And unfortunately, Joe Biden is very much on that same neoliberal track. Like, he is here to right the ship. Like, he is here to restore decorum, I suppose, to the office and get things back the way they were, back to normal. But we have to understand, y'all, normal was fucked up. Like, we as a country defund public education, we defund public health, and the pandemic has laid all of those things very bare. And I don't know what Joe Biden's plan is to rectify this, but if he is going to be believed as part of his campaign promises, Joe Biden promised that if a Medicare for All bill hit his desk, he would not sign it. In a pandemic, like, I can't believe this man said this shit repeatedly with a straight face to people who are sick and dying, that if I get a bill for universal health care in this country, I'm not going to sign it into law. Then what is your fucking solution, Joe Biden?
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, for those of you who don't like, and here's the reason why I would say Joe Biden shouldn't sign Medicare for All bill is because it doesn't have equity for Black people in Medicare for All bill as it stands right now. We'll just get free health care, but free bad health care, and we'll die at the hospital. But
I mean, what do niggas do now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll just expand that version so Black people will die. A lot more Black people will die in the hospital. But we know that's not the reason. We know that private insurance companies still have. I mean, they're making a killing right now.
Yes.
And if you look at Moderna and if you look at Pfizer and you look at we just re-upped for something like how many billion was it 13? Was it 3 billion new? And we could find that 3 billion new. The government just bought 3 billion new. They're trying to cover everybody vaccinations for the coronavirus.
200. He bought 200 million.
200 million, right?
Because that's how many we were short.
Right. And to be honest with you, like, I know this is, I don't know, this might even sound a little too socialist. It might even be verging over on something else, but a private company shouldn't even have a right to make money off of that.
Facts.
Right. Not one private company should be. And you know what? And I'm not an idiot. I invested in Moderna myself. I have. Why? Because if the white people doing it, I'm gonna do it too. But my thing is, they shouldn't be making money off of a nationwide pandemic that is messing up the economy. And if they weren't so addicted to capitalism and to kissing each other's asses on the golf course, then they would actually have an understanding that Moderna, you're going to have to give it up a little bit because because Amazon workers can't go to work on time and schools can't go. So we can't sell no more pencils, right? Because think about it. There's no need for pencils anymore. There's no need for pens anymore. Right, Bic is hurting because of this pandemic. Right, like there's other companies, the chocolate milk company, the dairy company, they're hurting because of this pandemic. Right, so and those are jobs. My opinion is this right here: the vaccine should be free and it should be government funded, and we should have a government take over anybody who's literally trying to do it. I know that's a little deep, but to be honest with you, either they do a deal with us or we cut them one check and it's like, y'all do your job. Because we got to get out this pandemic no matter what. And capitalism, just like capitalism can't save African Americans, let me tell y'all something, America. Capitalism cannot stop COVID-19.
Facts.
I want y'all to understand this. Socialism is the only way that democratic socialism is the only way that we stop COVID-19, in my opinion. Capitalism can't do it. And the reason why is because it's too much money to be made, and y'all broke folks and y'all broke folks and that's half of America right now hurting. That's why they have a hard time giving us a simple ass $2,000 that they could afford to give us $5,000 a month. To be honest with you,
truce. I mean, listen, I don't know how often or how much longer we're going to accept the fact that these multi-billion-dollar corporations don't pay taxes, like Apple, Google, Amazon. Like, is there a legitimate reason why these people don't pay taxes? To give you an example, in Baltimore City, Under Armour's headquartered in Baltimore City. Guess what? Under Armour don't pay no fucking taxes. And guess what? Baltimore City schools don't have air conditioning nor proper heating. And they're certainly not equipped to be reopened because they don't have proper ventilation. There are even some schools in Baltimore City where kids can't drink out the water fountains. Why? Because there's lead pipes that have been in those same schools for decades upon decades. But the city cries broke. Maybe they are broke, maybe they're not broke. But I bet you if Under Armour paid their fair share of taxes, that might help out, clean up some lead pipes just a little bit in Baltimore City. But the thing is, I mean, politicians, Democrat and Republican alike, are okay with this system. You understand? Like, Nancy Pelosi is very invested in Silicon Valley, both politically and economically.
Right.
So, they have a friend in the house.
Wait. I want you to get on that after the break, but right now we're going to take a little pause for the because that's a good one. Right now we're going to take a little pause for the cause. You are watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. I'm Marcus Farrell. Now I managed to save the stream because this stream was going to go down for a second, and I opened up a whole shout out to Google. Speaking of, Google made some strong website stuff, internet browser stuff. Shout out to Google. They saved this stream. You are watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Please like, share, subscribe. Go over to Kim Brown's channel. Like, share, subscribe. I don't know if you have a Facebook page, but I'll let you pitch yourself. But we are Thirsttrap. And if you are on Facebook, would you do me a favor and just go onto your YouTube account real quick and hit that like button on this right here? We're trying to get our numbers up, right? Hit that, subscribe to our channel, even if you are on trusty dusty Facebook. Try to like our channel on YouTube. It'll be greatly appreciated. Don't forget some super chats. We like the $5 ones. We like the $2 ones. We like Trutch over here, and we're bringing you the fire, as you can tell. So I'm gonna go around the horn real quick. Where can everyone find you at? And then we're gonna go into a little break, and we'll come back with more. So Ben Dixon, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Benjamin P. Dixon. Shout out to Infinite Content in the chat room. Hope everything is well with the quarantine. He's a regular supporter, and his pharmacy had to quarantine the entire team because of a possible COVID outbreak. So we sending well wishes your way, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Kim Brown.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Kim Brown. Shout out to my people in the chat, Black Magic, Tony H. I appreciate it. And whoever was talking shit about me cussing, I mean, maybe it would be inappropriate for me to tell you to suck my dick. But don't try to police my language, nigga. I'm grown. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Kim Brown Live, and please go to the show channel on Twitter as well at Burn It Down KB, and the show is on YouTube at Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Please subscribe. Thank you very much.
And my brother Mondale Robinson, how can they find you? And what you got going on, man?
Man, these motherfuckers can't find me nowhere. Tam, you do notice you can block anybody you want to in that chat. No, and the motherfucker don't do nothing about it.
That's not necessary.
I gotta make. We gotta make Tam moderator on YouTube.
Tam got all the passwords on YouTube. She don't need no moderator.
Hey, that's right. She can make herself a moderator. Tam, make yourself a moderator, dude.
Sis, you ain't gotta keep going back and forth with people.
Who?
I'm talking to Tam in the chat.
Okay,
Tam.
sorry. Okay, I didn't know it was.
I don't understand. Motherfuckers talking about they get misinformation over here. If you get misinformation over here, stay from over here. Here. I'm a whole.
Misinformation is not white driven information. So
what I will say is this: I ain't in the motherfucking mood tonight for laughing at jokers. So laughing at joker Monday kind of stayed at home. And everybody with the shit tonight in this chat, I feel like it tonight. I feel like it. That's where they can find me at.
It might get personal. With that being said, you are watching Clickbaity, the blackest is show. We'll be back. That's right,
Damn.
folks.
So
right,
continuation of the conversation from last night about my homeboy, who is finally at home, safe with his family. Went to the hospital. This is white supremacy at its best. After the cops did what they do, they took him to the hospital. Said they didn't even really X-ray or do nothing to him. They just gave him a pain pill and said ain't nothing broken and sent him to jail. Sent him home. So finally, because it started trending outside of the state of North Carolina. Shout out to Alyssa Milano for that, Mark Ruffalo, and Quan Bolding for using their platforms to share that information. And it started trending. And now they WRL, the local newspaper, or the newspaper in Raleigh in the capital, which is up the street from where I'm from, put out an article said, "Oh, drunk driver gets drunk driver." Article about a drunk driver is trending with celebrities. The problem with that is we saw these motherfuckers break into the Capitol and they said alleged terrorism. This is what happens when you're white. They call it alleged. This brother didn't blow. This brother didn't blow for a DU. It didn't blow. He's asking them to turn over the cam so you can see what happened, the video camera. So there's no breathalyzer. So how the fuck did the news station call him drunk? This is white supremacy, y'all. Please continue to use that hashtag justice for Christopher Lynch. We're not gonna let this one slide. These fucking cops. We finally got his name. Just got his name right now from my homie Christopher, who is at home safe, like I said, and not dead. His name is Officer L.M. Caskey. L.M. Caskey, who has a history of doing shit just like this in North Carolina. He's a highways state trooper. Your ass is in trouble, homie.
So first, everybody, make sure that you get that. Could we get somebody to put that in the put that hashtag in the chat room real quick so we can put it on the stage? I mean, on the front camera. And I want to go into something that's kind of important. And it's all about accountability. Just like police officers deserve accountability for their bad actions. Shout out to Colorado for passing ending qualified immunity in Colorado. That's right. If you are a racist cop, and by the way, even though y'all think it's all weed and fucking mountains in Colorado, there's racism in Colorado also. Don't ever get that confused. Colorado is racist. That's matter of fact. That's where the Black Klansman came from, right? The movie, like they filmed. That was about in Colorado.
It's Colorado Springs.
Yeah. So shout out to accountability. Shout out to Colorado, and alongside accountability, I kind of want to get into the impeachment of Donald Trump. Dave.
Before we do, L.M. Caskey, since we're talking about motherfuckers in their past, let's bring up this bitch ass nigga. This officer is also responsible for putting a AR-15 at a 6-month-old baby and beating that baby's mother so bad she had lacerations. The same motherfucker. That's the same officer.
Jesus Christ.
L.M. Caskey.
They just go from one precinct to the next, don't they? They just or they just stay where they are and just thrive with their violence against us.
I need to see North Carolina. I need to see America pass a ending qualified immunity bill. I need to see America pass it. I need to see, like, I would like to see Joe Biden, like, if you really give a fuck, Joe, like, past that, right? Because your juries ain't gonna give us no justice, but we know what really affects you, motherfuckers, your pockets, right? And I'll be damned if smart brothers in the planet like Benjamin Crump won't get that money about your ass, right? With the right amount of it.
I don't mean to cut you off, Marcus, but keep in mind that lawsuits paid out because of brutality or because police get murdered come from taxpayers. They come from the police. Like, they don't shit.
I mean, but when you end qualified immunity, you can hit them in their personal pockets.
Supposedly, I mean, is Colorado the only state that has this in place? And I'm surprised the didn't riot.
I believe there's certain cities, but statewide, Colorado was the first state to officially begin the process of ending qualified immunity. As a matter of fact, that the first lawsuit that happened was the young girls who got pulled out of that van, who the cops put on the ground. I'm not going to even show the video because there ain't no reason for us to do that. I believe we did that before, but the cops put these young girls, young black girls, on the ground, held them at gunpoint, and the mother is pleading with them that the registration that she had in her hand for the car, the van, matched the tag, and they refused to get those young girls off of that hot concrete. And I need North Carolina to pass this, because the state of North Carolina killed my first cousin Jonathan Farrell also.
Yep.
I need some get back for that one. Like, and the amount of money, like, you know, and I don't want North Carolina residents to pay for that. I want Randall Carrick to pay for that.
Marcus, take this off the screen.
Yeah. This one right here?
Yeah. Just put one with the correct spelling of his last name. Is Lynch, not Lunch.
Okay. Gotcha. So I was going somewhere, and I wanted to talk about accountability, because
Marcus, was it the same police body? I think it was the same police body that murdered your cousin. We shouldn't even say kill. He murdered your cousin in cold blood.
It was
North Carolina Highway Trooper, right?
It was Mecklenburg. No, it was Mecklenburg.
Okay.
It was Mecklenburg. Them fuck boys. And to be honest with you, like, here's the thing that I know for a fact, and I don't go into this much, but I do want to get into this next article, but I want to dig a little deep into this one right here. We are talking about democratic cities, right? And counties that, like, you know, are so addicted to modern forms of policing, right? Where when we say defund the police, they act like black people ain't getting killed by the police. Right? They want to shift the focus to you know, the ethos that 65-80% of cops are good. Those 20% of the cops are still killing us, and that's enough. Right? You don't want to get 20% of AIDS.
Nigga, what kind of analogy? What does that mean?
You don't want to get 20% of herpes, you still got herpes. What I'm saying is, you don't want to get 20. That's my fucking analogy, Kim.
Your penis sounds kind of guilty here, Marcus. Why you keep throwing out there? I'm talking about
your penis sounds guilty.
And with that being said, I'm gonna try to share my screen again one more time, and we are going to go into a conversation about pro-Trump Republicans claim the Senate impeachment trial is unconstitutional. Nice try. So the Senate not only has the constitutional right to try Trump, but it has a constitutional duty to do so. And this is from NBC News. This was much earlier today. Since then, this has been the court actually has struck this down. I mean, and basically what the Republicans were trying to do on Monday, the House delivered this article of impeachment to the Senate. On Tuesday, members of the House who will act as trial lawyers were sworn in, and the trial set to begin February 8th. The question is straightforward. The sole alleges that Trump incited the insurrection. We all saw the insurrection play out on our live television, computers, and phone screens across the state. But the GOP and allies have a chance to strategize, and the primary Republican defense is already taking shape that the Senate lacks the constitutional power to hold the trial because Trump is no longer in office. And the reason why I bring that up is because Matt Gaetz, let me stop sharing. Matt Gaetz, congressman from Florida, went all the way live about impeaching President Obama after he was out of office.
Mhm.
Many, 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 many times. And this is just another kind of example of Republican hypocrisy. Mitch McConnell did a whole ass speech about how he needed to end the filibuster to make sure that that Trump's choice for Supreme Court justice nominations went through without the 20-day, without the filibuster of the Democrats. So I want to get the panel's kind of opinions about the hypocrisy of the Republicans right now, and is the Democratic Party fundamentally weak, especially when you think about who we call Democrats and we allow them to caucus with us. Kirsten Sinema, right?
Yep.
Kirsten Sinema, and you know what? I know Kirsten. Kirsten held the office that I was trying to run for in Arizona when I lost, but I was running too black, right? So I could kind of understand that. And also, buddy from West Virginia, what's his name?
Joe
Manchin. Yeah. So I wanted to go around the table and just get your thoughts on this hypocrisy and where we are right now.
Marcus, take that comment down.
I'm putting up a different one right now.
So in terms of the hypocrisy, I mean, I feel like we have once again stepped on this carousel where when there's a Democrat in the White House, all of a sudden Republicans start screaming about the deficit when they're the ones who themselves blew up the deficit under the previous Republican administration. We saw this most recently with Donald Trump with the big tax cuts that he gave to the wealthy. And we saw this under George W. Bush, who also did similar kind of tax cuts to the wealthy, blew up the deficit, increased defense spending. And then when a Democrat is elected, we're mortgaging away our children's futures. Y'all didn't give a fuck about the kids' futures 7 months ago, or back in 2017 when they passed these tax cuts. So, I mean, at some point, we have to stop being reactionary to what we already know the Republican script is going to be. Already, they are painting Joe Biden as someone who wants to defund the police. Joe Biden is 100% opposed to defunding the police and made a campaign promise to fund the police with additional $300 million. So at some point, y'all, like we know these niggas lie, these Republican niggas specifically. So how much are we going to entertain them lying when we know that they actually have a set script? Like they are going to trot out these same sort of things over and over again every time that they are not in power. So like, what can Democrats really do to counteract that and to get our people? I say that loosely because I'm not a Democrat and I vote for Democrats sparingly, depending on who they are on the local level. But dog, like what are the Democrats are going to do is really the question. They have control of the White House, control of the House, control of the Senate. Really, it's time to run the table. And I feel as though when Democrats get in power, they never act like they run shit. When Republicans get in power, they ram their whole agenda down your throat fast, and they don't fuck around. Look, see Amy Coney Barrett, right? Soon as they got the chance, they're like, oh, we got to get this shit done, right? But Democrats are content to like slow walk shit. Well, we want to work with Republicans. Like Nancy Pelosi said during the election, it helps us to have a healthy Republican Party. Does it?
Right.
Really? Are you sure about that, Nancy? So, I mean, like, really, the question is, Marcus, like, what are the Democrats going to do? We know what the Republicans are going to do. They're going to talk shit out their ass. They're going to all of a sudden get amnesia about the previous 4 years. And then, from whenever time W was in office, like, how are Democrats going to handle this political power that we have given them? Black people gave them Georgia. Y'all know that better than me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
What are going to be return on investment for turning out in a pandemic for you, Joe Biden? You know what I'm saying? Giving Democrats the state of Georgia, they've never won it, or at least not in post-Dixiecrat eras. You know what I mean? What are the Democrats going to do here, Marcus? Let me turn the question back to you.
Well, I mean, with friends like these, who needs enemies? I mean, Kirsten Sinema rules like there ain't no Latinx people in Arizona. So as far as I'm thinking here is like, either this needs to happen. And I'm talking to you, Chairman Jamie Harrison, my boy from South Carolina. I'm talking to you, Chairman Harrison. since you really don't have control about what state parties do, and you can excite your, and you can influence the way that you can influence, it's time for us to flip new seats in the South. So Jamie, put all the money in Mississippi in your home state. Ignore Iowa. Let them, right? Like ignore New Hampshire. Like it's time for you to put all the money into Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and as my brother Mondale Robinson says, Arkansas. Like Brother Harrison, I know you watch the show occasionally. You're not gonna admit it, but I know you watch the show occasionally. So Chairman, if you're watching tonight's show, do me a favor.
That's a brilliant strategy, Marcus.
Yeah,
like because we need to flip enough seats. We need to flip more seats so we can nullify the cuckoo in West Virginia and the independent out of Arizona, right? And who knows what Mark Kelly is going to do, because Mark Kelly, in Arizona they call Mark Kelly you mean baby cinema.
You actually think they're gonna give Jamie, I know he's the chair, but you think they're gonna give him the latitude to implement a strategy like that? It's a great strategy, it's the right strategy, but it's almost too good for them to actually do it.
Well, then, let's think about the relationship, and Mondale, I want you to get in here. Let's think about the relationship with Perez and Obama. Let's think about that relationship, right? Obama, everybody, no one wants to say the hard part out loud, but Obama weakened the Democratic Party because he definitely was more focused with OFA than he was with the DNC. And shit, legitimately, if I was the president, I would too. The way that Debbie Wasserman Schultz kind of ran that thing at that point, right?
Yeah,
right. So let's not forget about that. So I kind of say like this right here: their relationship, those two relationship, was more so like the president's a moderate, and he's getting his, and the chair of the DNC is getting his cues from the president. I think Jamie has a different pathway because Biden is an old ornery white man. And unlike the powers that be, like Biden is probably going to ask for Jamie to come up with more solutions than Tom Perez. I just don't see it in Jamie to be a sort of a blind yes man. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's just not how he works, right? He and again, like I'll repeat this: when he was the chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party, and the Bernie campaign and the Hillary campaign in 2016 were there, he didn't pick sides. He was just not blindly going with establishment Democrats. He would call our campaign up and be like, y'all need to do this, y'all need to do that, or Hillary's going to run away with it, right? Like, and he was, I don't know what conversations he had. Well, I do know some of the conversations. He was a fair dude. He was a fair guy. And I'm never going to take that away from him. I just wonder if he can keep that capacity being the national Democratic chair. Mondale, I want to throw it to you because you know about these relationships also.
First of all, Rapid, nobody's selling you. Motherfucker, you came over here to watch our show. You can't make us put your comments on the damn screen. Secondly, Rapid, it's Marcus' fucking fault you ain't on the screen because his ass don't fucking do the comments properly or often. So you can't buy your way on the screen. Motherfucker, if Marcus want to pull you on the screen, he'll pull your comment on the screen. Calm your ass down. Nobody ain't silencing you over here. Your comment ain't being played because you ain't saying nothing except for how do I get on the screen? Your dumb ass. Secondly, someone in the chat said Northwest Arkansas is progressive. Northwest Arkansas is the home of Walmart. That it is a Democratic stronghold there. Absolutely, people forget that. The people that work in Northwest Arkansas are lawyers, and most of them are lawyers or immigrants for Arkansas. They're not. I mean, for Walmart, they're not like the people that work at Walmart throughout the country. This is Walmart corporate headquarters. So this is a different demographic of people. And you're also forgetting that Central Arkansas is extremely progressive. It's where Little Rock is. It's where a lot of the Black people in the state are, and it's also where 4 HBCUs are. So there's also a progressive part of Arkansas in the middle for that person who knows Arkansas. Shout out. As it pertains to Jamie, people are forgetting the chair of the party has no boss, basically. The chair of the party has the right to do whatever he wants to. Jamie didn't get the chair because of anything except for the fact that he raised more money than any candidate for Senate in the history of this country. He raised $107 million, and therefore he is the chair of the party.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And Jamie has wide latitude to do whatever he wants to. It's up to Jamie to lead the party the way he wants to. He could change all of it. I mean, like, this is him. The contractors, all of that will run through him now. The buck stops with him. He gets to have control. The difference between what Biden did and what Obama did is the exact opposite. Obama basically broke the DNC by that was the problem after. That's why we lost so many seats, because he took all of the power from the DNC and took all that money and put it into OFA and made OFA a national institution instead of supporting parties around the country. And it's actually so funny that Biden chose Jamie, because Jamie was supporting the South Carolina party while Obama was breaking the party, the national party. So Jamie definitely understands how to turn a party into a resource center, which is what he did in South Carolina. And I definitely think he'll make sure that they see the South completely different. So what I think about Jamie as chair, I think Jamie is a party person, but I also think he's a Black man that never forgot he was a Southern Black man.
Kim, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts before I move on to Ben Dixon on this one. Go ahead.
I have to confess, so I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the inner workings of the Democratic Party because, again, I'm not a Democrat. I don't feel as though this party represents my interests. I don't feel as though really any major political party represents my interests at this point in time. But I will say about Jamie Harrison, like, wasn't it Jim Clyburn who blamed Jamie Harrison's Senate loss on defund the police, catch his slogans? Like,
Stop. So,
I mean, did it happen?
Oh, wait. We're going to get back to that because you did it. Hey, Benjamin.
Hey, man, I can't do it anymore. It's not even a good impersonation anymore. But yeah, let her finish her point, and I'll see if I can work it in organically. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Kim.
So I know, unfortunately, how Black Democrats get elected. They join the Congressional Black Caucus, and then all of a sudden, progressive policies sort of go out the window. They start to compromise with, we got to work across the aisle, reach across the aisle. We got to, reason with Republicans, and I'll just say this, and I'll let Ben take over. But like, the CBC really lost my faith in it when Donna Edwards, who was actually my congressperson here in Prince George's County, Maryland, when she ran for Senate for Maryland against a white man, Chris Van Hollen, the Congressional Black Caucus did not endorse her. Let me say that again. When a Black congresswoman sought to become Maryland's first Black senator, the Congressional Black Caucus did not back her, and by default backed her white opponent. So, you got to watch these niggas when they go to Washington, because sometimes they get caught up. It's almost like when people go to Hollywood, right? They get mystified by the glitz and the glamour and all the power brokerings going on in DC. And, they lose their moral compass, and then that lobbying money comes their way. And then they were like, what police reform? I forgot all about that shit. So, I mean, we can be cautiously optimistic that the brother's gonna do some things, but I'm sorry, I've seen this movie a few times.
Right. So what you're saying is the mechanism is too strong for a single person to overcome.
Oh, yeah.
I think that if the Republicans are about to splinter apart, like if Trump is actually about to form a Patriot Party or whatever, which there's probably a good amount of crazy conservatives who believe in the shit that Donald Trump believes, it could actually be viable. I think it is past time for progressives and leftists specifically to separate from the Democratic Party, because they've made it clear. Like, I don't see how they could make it more clear that they are not helping us from a federal perspective, from the, when we have elected Democratic presidents, to our Democratic governors, to our Democratic mayors, who were so kind and generous to spend all their police budget gassing Black Lives Matter protesters all summer long. So, I mean, I don't have faith in the party. I just don't.
I would be remiss, Benjamin, before you even respond to that. Mondale consistently makes an argument about the Democratic Party and Black folks, and I don't want to repeat it for him.
Mm-hmm.
But the ethos is, what you mean? It's our party. Like, why can't we change it from the inside? And why can't we change it? Why don't we kick them out? Right? Why don't we kick all the problematic? Mondale, you want to help me out here, because this is sort of your wheelhouse right here, because I'm not trying to take words out of your mouth.
I mean, I'm not for taking. I don't buy into the idea that this ain't my America and this ain't my party. This country is shit without Black people. That party is shit without Black people. And giving up the Democratic Party to the establishment allows them to continue to have a party that is already prepared and situated to participate in national elections going forward, which I am not ready to do, because no third party has successfully put a candidate on every ballot ever. And I'm not with giving that party that type of leeway up to no fucking people who don't deserve it, who can't win a national election without our vote. It's just our time to exact what we need to do. And I think this election cycle was exactly that. So I think for me, just like I don't say, as much as I love going to Africa and visiting Africa, nobody can tell me, take your ass back to Africa on vacation. Yeah, but I live here. This is mine. This is my fucking America, and I get to fight for it as much as I want to and how I want to. So I feel the same about the Democratic Party.
Fight for you though, Mondale. Is it going to fight for you? Like, these are my questions. Like, we can't be fighting for people who could give a fuck about us. You understand? Like, I'm not going to put down my blood or the blood of my children or my parents for some shit that is never going to help me out. You know what I mean?
So to say that the party has never helped us out is to discount all of the Black people who've been a part of the party that's done some good shit. So I mean, like we gotta like, talking in these absolutes is dangerous. What I will say though is we've not had enough people that think like you, Marcus, Ben, and myself inside of the party turn the bitch down. I think we have the opportunity to do just that. I think the fact that you can't say that somebody just said this is, that's why how the Just Democrat was formed. Just Democrats are Democrats. They're fucking Democrats. Period. They're Democrats. Like, there's no third party that's been successful at getting on the ballot for national elections. There's no third party that's winning an election. If you are an independent, you are a Democrat. Bernie is a fucking Democrat. I don't care what his title says. Bernie is a Democrat. Period. So I am not willing to give up. As Black people, we can't give up all the ground we've ceded. This party has not won a national election in 40 years, but for our vote. This is our fucking party.
So where have we been rewarded for that? Like, where are our returns? Like, for reliably showing up, voting for Democrats locally and nationally, what have Black people received in return?
How do you vote? Do you vote? Is it okay if I ask you that? Sure. Do you vote for which party do you vote for?
So I became an independent in 2014. I did not vote for president in 2016. I voted my local elections. I voted my local elections in 2018. I did not vote in 2020.
Okay. I subscribe to the idea that I pick who I fight, and I fight Democrats on a regular basis because I have 100% more opportunity that I can do with Democrats. And it is absolutely, I think it's dangerous for us to say that the Democrats are on par with Republicans. And it discounts everything that's happening in our world, in our ethos, and what Republicans supports. I think there's absolutely a problem with neoliberals. That problem cannot be equated with fascists and racists. It just can't. And I think it's dangerous to say that. So there are tons of things. If we're talking about the 55,000 people that are elected in this country, and some of them that are Democrats, if we are saying that there's nothing right out of that party, is to say that to say that the political system does not work. And I think that's absolutely incorrect. I know for a fact there are Democrats Black Democrats all throughout the South that are responsible. There's a Democrat that's a brother that I helped get elected in California that that's introducing universal basic incomes in Stockton. So I mean, we can't say stuff like that. We can't say that there's nothing, no good for us that's come from that party. Now, what happens is we equate those 435 or 535 people in Washington, D.C. with the entire Democratic Party, when in actuality, those motherfuckers are a super minority in the Democratic Party because there's 55,000 elected officials in this country.
Mondale, you didn't answer my question. What have Black people gotten in return for being
Stockton? Yeah, Stockton is a black. I just gave you an example. Stockton is a black city. They got universal basic.
You're telling me the brother has proposed it, like it hasn't actually become a law yet, right? It's not.
So healthcare is beneficial to Black people.
So about that, I don't know about y'all, but Obamacare actually cost me way more money than it actually saved me. I was very fortunate to be healthy throughout the Obama years, but I mean, the premiums went up, co-pays went up. And first of all, I mean, our healthcare system is shit anyway. The fact that both Republicans and Democrats are not inclined to bring us into the rest of the industrialized world and have universal healthcare is a problem. That is where Democrats and Republicans have a lot in common. They are not interested in making sure that everybody has access to healthcare. And I don't understand why that is. Both of the parties are committed to this bloated, tremendous defense budget. Joe Biden is not about to cut the defense budget. That would be amazing if he did. I would actually think differently of him if he were to do something so-called radical like that. But I mean, I agree. Like, you can't compare fascists to neoliberals, but there's not that much room in between them. You know what I mean? Especially from a policy perspective. So anyway, I mean, that's just my take. Like, I genuinely tried to be a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? My mother worked for a labor union for 46 years. I met Bill Clinton when I was 12, 13 years old when he was running for president. You know what I'm saying? I was very much brought up in the Democratic establishment. Mondale, you probably know that. At the same time, where I started to part ways mentally from the Democratic Party was in 1996 is the year I turned 18, and I was so excited to cast my first vote for Bill Clinton, and I voted for Bill Clinton. It wasn't until I graduated college in 2001 that I fully understood the ramifications of the 1996 Telecommunications Act and how that harmed me directly as a person working in media, working in broadcasting. For those who don't know, the 1996 Telecommunication Act allowed for media consolidation of ownership, right? So prior to that, it was not legal for a single company to own more than one radio station in a market and to own TV stations in like print entities like a newspaper. Bill Clinton said, nope, it's cool. Clear Channel, iHeartRadio, own all the radio stations y'all want in one city. Where that came to be a problem for people in broadcasting was it got rid of literally thousands of jobs. And I realized retrospectively that voting Democrat for Bill Clinton in that instance was a vote against my own interests. And that really hurt my feelings. But I still didn't leave the Democratic Party till several years later. But my point is, I don't feel rewarded, for showing up for these people. I feel like they expect us as a Black community to show up because where else are you going to go? And then they pat us on the head like, okay, Negroes, thank you for showing up. Now we're going to go about our whole little neoliberal agenda and be sure to leave y'all out and go on about our merry way and still enrich Wall Street and healthcare companies and all the shit that they support. So I just feel as though we need to have like a bigger imagination politically about, number one, what is possible. And I don't think a proper reformation of the Democratic Party as it is right now is possible if it's going to enact legislation or policies that actually benefit our communities as a whole, not just the talented 10th. You feel me?
So again, I literally love that you made the argument. You ended it with the talented 10th because you talked about what happened to you with insurance and Obamacare, but you didn't talk about what happened to our community because I said Black people benefited from healthcare, and you said what happened to you. That's one person. How many millions of Black people went from uninsured to insured, and the problems that we had with Obamacare was that racist ass Republican states wouldn't get on the exchange, and that's why prices exploded. It wasn't the bill. So we just got to be honest when we're talking about it. And this doesn't make me an establishment person. It makes me a lover of facts. So the people in the chat, either you could get on board with this understanding, or we could just talk about hyperbole. So I hear what you're saying, Kim, about healthcare being more expensive. Yes. I am not an institutionalist. I've never taken a single paycheck from the party ever intentionally. Go ahead.
If I may, real quick. First, this is why you watch Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Not trying to stop the vibe right here, but this is why you have to have conversations, because you're not going to see conversations like this right here. I want to stop and remind you guys that the reason why we do this is because that fuck ass MSM ain't gonna do this right here. Mm-hmm. So this is just, we're putting this together so you guys can understand what's possible about a black dynamic of politics that you might not even thought about. And right now I do see both points. And the only thing I'm going to say is 10:06, and we usually hop out of here. Trap Squad, we done gave y'all 6 extra minutes of goodness. I need to see $6 super chats right now. $6 super chats for this conversation, and Kim, because I am about to cut you off and cut off Brother Mondale, even though I can't just cut him off. But
you already did just cut me off. Yeah, I was in the middle of a thought.
I know, bro, but I want to stick to the script, and I also want to offer opportunity for Sister Brown to come back.
Listen. As many times as you and Ben Dixon showed up for me, come on now. Y'all just got to give a nigga more than an hour.
It wasn't even an hour. I like literally gave it to you 5 minutes after we thought we saw you in the chat room. So we'll do better about that.
Mondale, Kim, Ben, we are kind of over our normal time period. Ben, do you have any final words before I pass it to Mondale and Kim?
No, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, a lot of people like, why is Ben not talking? Why is Ben not talking? Because I'm enjoying the goddamn show.
We watching the show.
I'm listening to the conversations. Yeah, and it's a dope ass conversation on a regular basis. And Kim, thank you so much for coming and adding to it. And like, yeah, like let's stay connected and keep pushing your show. Everybody, please go subscribe to her channel. Go subscribe.
Burn It Down with Kim Brown, y'all, on YouTube right now. We did a show today about how teachers are leading the fight against the reopening. Mondale said the shit is all good. You put the kids on the school bus tomorrow, according to Mondale. But yeah, so yeah, we do some conversations over there on Burn It Down with Kim Brown. You guys have already sent me a whole bunch of new Twitter followers, so I appreciate the opportunity to come here and kick it with y'all. And y'all know, seriously, like real talk. Again, Ben and Marcus, y'all have showed up for me. So please don't even hesitate. Like, I mean that 100%. Like, whenever y'all ready, just let me know. I will be here on time.
That's love.
Mondale, you want to move this thing over to to Facebook for a group talk?
Nah, hell no. I got shit I need to do, homie.
That's what I thought. You want to give your final thoughts real quick, man?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Well, I got some final thoughts. So we are starting a new Twitch account. Right now, you guys on Twitch are following. And would you do me a favor and go over to Twitch and just like log in real quick, just so I can get one more thingy and I'll be good. I need more than just 2 people following me on Twitch, and I know some of y'all got Twitch. But we are going to start a Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap Twitch page. Website still coming out soon. Kim, please come back. This was one of the best episodes, and I believe, and I can fact check this soon, but I believe this was the highest amount of people that we had organically on the night show so far, without any extra shares. So obviously, you and your network are more than welcome to give us money. No.
I ain't got no goddamn job, Tommy. I got laid off. So yeah.
We'll make sure that we blow up so everybody gets paid. And this is but thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Would all the hosts stay on for 1 second after we get finished with this? Before, as for the Trap Squad, everybody who watching our show, check us out tomorrow night. Check out the Morning Trap tomorrow morning on the Ben Dixon Network. Ben got some big news, but he ain't gonna drop it on the Thirst Trap, and I wish he would, but he's not.
I'm not dropping it anywhere. We're holding the biggest news until March.
Okay,
we're gonna
okay.
drop all the intermediate news as we go. Yeah.
Okay, right. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining us. Man, you know what? Man, stay in the trap, man. We gonna keep you addicted to this shit.
Stay in the trap.